If you're Robert and then Joffrey's hand, what actions would you have taken to protect the realm, your king, and your head? What about Danny also? So I think the problem with Robert is that Robert thinks he has a lot of problems when he has none. Like there's no problems in the realm at all until he dies. He thinks that he has all these problems, like the Starks and the Lannisters, they're at each other's throats and stuff like this. It's just it's not really a problem. Okay, it's just um, it's over these tiny little personal issues, and I'm trying to think like Robert acts like the he really needs Ned and that he really needs the Lannisters and all these different people. He doesn't need any of them really. Like he should probably just cut ties with all of them and like make friends with House Hightower or something. Like completely switch allegiances. Try to make friends with the Dornish, or something like that. I think realistically, like if I were John Aaron, would I have let Dorne fester for so many years independent without having like better relations with them? Seems a little weird, you know. Um, but I'm thinking of Game of Thrones. Like Robert should have acted differently, considering Stannis ran off and Lysa ran off. Those are some big red flags, and he never dealt with those issues. He really thought like the issues. Instead, he went hunting and stuff, and was thinking that he needed to handle stuff between the Starks and the Lannisters, and totally ignored the Vale and Dorne and really like man and Stannis, his brother, and stuff like that. When all those things needed to be handled. Um, not attending, not attending small council meetings and all sorts of things like that. Robert made a real mistake in that sense. um, Now about Danny, like what would I do? So I guess I would just have more relations, more marriages, more talks, like to heal the kingdoms, so that I wouldn't be so reliant on the Lannisters, because it just felt like Robert was just reliant on Tywin when he didn't need to be. Um, Now let's see. What I do with Danny? I mean, she has all these dragons. Like I don't know. I think that I don't think staying in Slaver's Bay is a bad idea. It's just it's very difficult to win them over. Um, like do I really want to like do I really think that like I should reconquer Westeros? Like is that the goal? I mean, I guess sitting place someplace safe and having her dragons age is a pretty smart idea. And Karth wasn't very safe, and Slaver's Bay, it's got its problems, but it's probably safer than any other location. So, like, I don't know. I think Danny's probably doing the best she could with her bad situation. Um,
I think he meant, what would you do about Danny if you were in if you were the position of hand?
oh, position of hand.
Honestly, you know who had a really good idea, and I wish they expanded on this, was Tywin. Tywin wanted to take apart Danny's advisors one by one. It worked with Jorah, and had he
Hmm.
not died, I'm sure it would have come to pass with Barristan, maybe. Or I just wish the show did this. I wish Tywin would have actually funded the Sons of the Harpy in the show. That would have been great. Because the Harpy really destroys Danny's advisor of Barristan in the show, of
Mm.
course, and they really fuck with her whole stability
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Marine.
Yeah, but why even think about it in a war sense? Like why is it always like, oh, Danny needs to be dealt with? Like imagine if like rather than trying to kill her off, like they had sent a diplomat and been like, well, we're here for reconciliation, you know.
Because Tywin knows fairly well that his family will not be in power if Dany comes. Tywin was the last guy who really stuck a nail in that coffin of her dynasty, of her family's dynasty.
Mm.
She is going to come for retribution more so than anybody else. On the Lannisters, more so than anybody else. The Baratheons are mostly fucked with already. She can just pick them off whenever. But the Lannisters are the ones that really fucked her over.
From Robert's position, like she's gone off to live with the Dothrakis. Like she is a world away and would probably die in the Dothraki Sea and stuff like that. You can't really predict the egg thing. So really, I mean, Ned's opinion was do nothing. That this isn't a problem, and if she actually comes to Westeros, we'll deal with it then. Um, and Based on the information that's there, Ned's kind of right. Like Daenerys's rise to power is unrealistic. Like it's just out of nowhere. Like it takes a lot of insanity for that to happen, right? She for the most part, like first, think about all the things that happened, okay? Like she like gains control over her husband through sex tricks to make him fall in love with her. Then after he dies, which cows do a lot, she happens to have her eggs hatch, which no one could see coming. Then she makes it to she wanders through a desert and survives. And then she gets to Karth and they don't kill her for no reason. And then she's able to sail to Slaver's Bay, where she's able to take an army, like for stupid reasons. Like no one would ever like allow, like no one selling soldiers would allow that to happen. Like like all of the things that need to be in place to like actually bring her home, to bring them, it's just so.
You're forgetting one thing. This is a well. You're talking about the books. I'm talking about the show because I think the
Yeah.
show was on the right path and they fumbled the whole situation. So this is actually a question that Joffrey asks Tywin about
Mm.
Daenerys. What are we doing about the Targaryen girl in
Yeah.
the east? We've had Targaryens invade before, or at least Blackfires, kind of Targaryens, and they beat them back every time.
Yeah.
Um,
If
Daenerys
anything,
wasn't
it
a threat.
unites the realm, right? It unites the
It
realm
unites the realm.
to have these wars. Yeah.
Exactly. And the other thing is, why would we feel the Targaryen girl with three baby dragons? Because as far as we're concerned, they won't grow up to be more than the size of a dog. And this is
Yeah.
something that's also in the books as well. So there, we shouldn't fear Daenerys to, oh, they grew. Oh, that's okay. Well, let's send an assassin. We tried that. We could try that again. Or before we try that one more time, because she has two seasoned warriors at her side, let's pick them apart. Let's fund the Harpies, have them kill Barristan, destabilize her kingdom, and she'll get rid of Jorah once she finds out that Jorah was a spy. Once she has no allies next to her, then we send an assassin. Because last time, Jorah foiled the assassin.
Yeah,
So
but the problem with funding the Harpies as an idea is that you're pushing her out. Like, say the Harpies win and they expel her, and then she's heading back to Westeros.
she has no ships, she has no allies, she has no army because they've been focusing on
Mm.
the Harpies. And they're going to have to keep her safe throughout Slaver's Bay. And the
Yeah, but
Harpies are just not going to
she's
take.
got three dragons, you know. So
Eh,
so I don't know. With Game of Thrones, I almost think it's like, how can anyone see her as a threat at that point? I mean, Robert only does it because he has an irrational fear, but really, no one should really fear them. Um,
Ironically, his rational fear turned out to be correct.
to be correct, you're right.
Yeah.
You know, um, you're right, but it's hard not to take Ned's position in a Game of Thrones, where it's just like, well, what, is she really going to bring Dothraki across like the poison water? Come on, you know, is that really going to happen? And